So in this method, chromatography, what we do is we have a mobile phase and a stationary phase. Let's say this is a stationary phase, then a eluent or the mobile phase, which is basically liquid or a gas, a fluid base. In short, I would say a fluid is passed through this adsorbent. This stationary phase is called as adsorbent, and this solvent basically mixes the solution and adsorption occurs on this adsorbent uh, sheet, right? So this is called adsorbent, and adsorption happens and separation occurs depending on adsorbing power. Now we have two types of adsorption chromatography. One is column chromatography and another is thin layer chromatography. So what is the difference? The difference in column chromatography and thin layer chromatography is basically the setup. So what is the setup in column chromatography? You have adsorbent here. This is adsorbent. This blue part is adsorbent, and mixture is placed on top of it. This is blue part. Dark blue is basically mixture which has component A, B and C. Mixture which we need to separate. A, B and C we have to separate. That is what is placed here. This is the mixture which need to separate. This below part is a stationary phase or adsorbent, and the top part you put the solvent, which solvent goes down and it dissolves A, B and C within itself, and solvent then moves here, and depending on adsorbing power, A is separated first and B and C are separated consecutively. So A, there is a band of A, then there is a band of B, then there is a band of C. So adsorption of A, B and C separately occurs over adsorbent taken. So adsorbent is usually silica gel or alumina Al2O3. So over that surface, adsorption occurs of the component A, B and C. So we have separated A, B and C. So this phenomena is known as column chromatography. Next we have thin layer chromatography. Only the difference is here you don't have prepare a column where you adsorbent is taken in a slurry. Here what you do is you take a glass plate, on top of it a thin layer of adsorbent, which could be silica gel, is layered on the top of it. Now this, at the bottom 2 centimeter from the bottom at glass plate, you draw a line called baseline, and on top of it you put a spot of the mixture and then dip it into the solvent or mobile phase. Now mobile phase start flowing top towards top, and here somewhere you have a mixture dot. Here you have a baseline here, and on top of it you have a mixture dot. So it, when it moves like this solvent, then it dissolves the dot and separates the component depending on adsorbing power. Here you have different colors which represent different components of the mixture. So this is thin layer chromatography. Column chromatography and thin layer chromatography are part of adsorption chromatography. Basic principle is adsorption difference between components. Next is partition chromatography. What is partition chromatography? It includes presence of a chromatography paper. And the unique part about chromatography paper is that here the adsorbent is trapped water molecule in chromatography paper. I repeat, the question will be asked, what is adsorbent or stationary phase in paper chromatography or partition chromatography? So just remember, water molecules trapped in paper chromatography paper acts as adsorbent or stationary phase in partition or paper chromatography. Trapped water in chromatography paper is a stationary phase. And rest is similar to thin layer chromatography. What we do, at the bottom here we draw a baseline, and on top of it we put a dot of mixture, and we dip this paper, this chromatography paper is dipped in the solution of eluent or mobile phase, and solution then moves this way. Solution moves this way over chromatography paper, and different parts are separated individually. So this is example of partition chromatography, paper chromatography. Questions usually asked could be, which type of chromatography is column chromatography? So your answer will be adsorption chromatography. What type of chromatography is paper chromatography? You will say partition chromatography. Or they can ask basically what is adsorbent, what is eluent or mobile phase, and which component is getting adsorbed more and which is getting adsorbed less. So if in column chromatography the component at the top is getting adsorbed first, so adsorbing power of A is greater than B and C. And in this thin layer chromatography, if A was there, so A will be adsorbed first at the bottom, then B, then C, because absorbing power of A was more. So here solvent is moving from the bottom, so A will absorb first, and here solvent is moving from the top. So difference is there. So higher absorbing power component will be at the top in column and it will be at the bottom in thin layer chromatography. So that is it for now. Thank you.